Hello, welcome back. I thought we'd talk a little bit about Sol and what to expect from it. So, Sol is my newest product, and it was created in collaboration with PALF, which means Pédale à la France, or I think that means pedals for France. But it's kind of pedals to France. I don't know. In any case, the guy running it is called Alexandre, and he's a lovely guy. He also runs Ana Sounds, the pedal company, which I know from their spring tank driven pedals, which are really cool. And he wanted a fun device to start the year off with, and so we came up with this. And essentially, it's a kind of grab and go psychedelic machine. So what does that mean? Well, it has a fuzz, it has a vibe, super simple, 3 knobs, 2 foot switches, no expression control, just, you know, something to put in your gig bag and go and play a fun show. And it creates beautiful textures. And I do realize that I've kind of created a bit of a Jimmy in a box type thing here. But I think it's more than that, or it could be used in different ways than that if you were so inclined. And so I thought I'd show you some pretty fun tricks that you can use it for. And so I don't usually think of fuzzes, especially this type of fuzz, which is a high dynamic range fuzz, as just gain devices. I think of them as kind of compressors and gates and expanders and kind of tools to increase the range of your instrument. So think of it this way. You have your amplifier and it sounds great, but you'd like it to go a bit further in both directions. So meaning more gain when you need it and less gain than it has when you need that. So adding something like this, which is a low input impedance type fuzz, think of it as kind of like a fuzz phase. Turn down your guitar's volume control and it becomes brighter, but still louder than your amp was before you turn it on. It's more hiss, that's kind of the drawback. But you can adjust that with the only control that's on here, which is the volume control, which should be called the hiss control. That's what it's actually for. You don't use it for anything else. You just turn it on. That's lovely. But the same can be said for the uni-vibe portion of it. And instead of being about sort of volume and dynamism and compression and sustain and clarity and punch and drive and all of those things, and everything just sort of remotely controlled by your guitar and your playing, you can think of that more of as a kind of EQ tool, which I think too few people do. And there's a trick in here to make it even more of a EQ tool, almost like a clarity boost or a presence boost. And it does this wonderfully. But as most other uni-vibes does, or do, I should say, this also does a really cool trick where if you keep it slow, it's as if you have like a really nice EQ, and it changes all the time. And all the points across the EQ curve, they're all beautiful, but they're always changing and evolving and sort of, just like gurgling and gargling in the background. And I think that's a lovely sound. So let's try and coax some of that out of it. Set it low and slow. Turn it all the way down, it essentially stops the bulb from flashing inside of the box, and it parks it at a set point in the curve, and that sounds amazing too. And I think adding that to your fuzz adds a lot of flavor. So let's try something. Let's try something like this. Yeah, so, I think that's really cool. And it turns the, what sounds more like a darker fuzz phase type fuzz into more of a brighter tone bender type fuzz, but it retains the cleanup. Not completely, because, it changes the output impedance, which is important too, which people don't really talk about when it comes to these types of circuits, but still, I think it's a really useful sound. And so I hit that in there too. There's certainly like Jimmy stuff you can do. So. if you pull the depth beyond noon or midnight, it goes further than most uni-vibes do, and you can get some gating going. I've specifically designed this fuzz not to gate into the uni-vibe, but if you use it with some other fuzz, you can certainly make it do like almost like a through zero vibe thing, like flangers, but. But yeah, I mean, I think it's a really fun thing to bring into your gig bag, and you know, it tags along. It's easy to carry. It's relatively cheap considering it's cheaper than most real uni-vibes, and this is a real uni-vibe, and it has a fuzz, so it's like 2 for 1 for less than the other options. So I'm pretty happy with it, and I hope you like it too. Now I thought before we end, I thought I'd play you a little bit of something that is probably my favorite type of setting for this type of device, and something that most people don't usually think of. So let's try that.